Hello, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us yet again for your Mortgage Minute Monday with the Linda-May Tomko and the Manni Uppal Home Financing Advisors with Scotia Bank. We're here today to talk to us about new to Canada and how they have an amazing program at Scotia Bank to help all of the new Canadians purchase their homes. Ladies, the floor is yours.
Hello, everyone. I hope Monday is going well for you. So basically we have a new to Canada program. We've had it for a long time, but there has been some recent adjustments made to it. And then also with the new buyers ban, sometimes the new to Canada program can get a little bit confusing. We're here to kind of hash that out as well. So basically, if you have a work permit and it's 180 plus days, you are good to buy in Canada. Of course, we encourage you to always check with your immigration lawyer before you go ahead and make that purchase. From our end, we're good to do the financing if you have that worker's permit. And if you're, obviously a Canadian landed immigrant, then you're also good to purchase. So I'm going to let Manny take it from here and she'll kind of go over the program and then I'll jump in as needed, I guess.
Thanks, Linda-May. Hi, guys. So everyone's heard or everyone has questions on the Newcomers to Canada program. So let's run through a scenario for a client who's on a work permit. So a client has a work permit, 180 days. Both husband and wife are on work permit. They have a 5% down payment. They've been in Canada, let's say 2 years. And their application is in process for permanent residency. We look at 3 months of their employment, consecutive employment. So if they've got 3 months of employment, they have a down payment that's been in the account for 90 days. Now with the Sagen rule change, the down payment can be gifted. At Scotia Bank, it's still on an exception basis through the underwriter, but the insurance through Sagen allows gifted down payment for newcomers to Canada. Then we also look at your credit. So if the clients have established credit in Canada, that's 12 months or longer. If they haven't established credit in Canada, then we do have an option of looking at their rental payment history for the last 12 months, utility payment history, a phone bill, something that shows us that they've been making payments on time, a letter from their landlord, something like that. So we've got credit, we look at their down payment, and then we look at their employment. So if they're on a work permit, we do have the Newcomers to Canada program that we follow. But if they're on a permanent residency, they have their permanent residency, then we can use our standard program, which means we don't need to ask for an exception on the down payment. If it's being gifted, we can simply just use our standard program like anybody else that's looking at purchasing. So that's kind of the gist of it. Now, if a client just comes to Canada and they're looking at purchasing a home, we do have our Newcomers to Canada equity, I believe it's the net worth or equity program, where they do, if they do have 35% down plus 12 months of principal and interest payments, we can look at financing for them as well. On that, the only thing is we need to see adequate income or job stability to show the bank how they're going to be making payments on it going or down the road. So that's the conventional financing. Anything under 35% down for a client who is on work permit, it is a insured file. So that's where we get a lot of our questions is, if we put down 20%, are we still eligible for, conventional financing? No, unfortunately, no. If you're work permit, you're not eligible for the conventional product. It will still be an insured file, which means 25-year amortization. You still pay the insurance premium and things like that. So I've had lots of clients where they are misled on that part, and it would be nice, but it doesn't apply to any of the Newcomers to Canada program. So you do have to be a permanent resident in order for it to be conventional if you are doing 20% down. Anything that you want to add to it, Linda-May?
I think you covered it. I mean, Newcomers Canada is going to be, the product that we're going to see more regularly with the influx of new Canadians coming to Canada.
Yeah.
So it's good to have the knowledge behind it. If there are questions about the product, you can reach out to Manny or myself regarding it. We can answer any specific questions. If it's a realtor that, has a client that wants to talk through something with us, definitely give us a call. If it's your client individually, they're more than welcome to call us anytime, and we will run through every scenario we can with them. The insurers are really, really on board with this as well. So not only Sagen, Canada Guarantee and CMHC, they know that there is an influx of new Canadians coming to Canada and welcomed into Canada. And so this product, I think what we're going to see is some big growth, maybe possibly some changes into the future. Right now, the biggest change was that gifted down payment. We could never, ever accept gifted down payment for I think it was just approved 20 days ago.
Yeah.
And so that was always a fight that we were having, right, Manny?
Yeah.
But now that that's changed, I think, it's going to make things a lot easier for people coming in to Canada. I mean, people who have, maybe they're being sponsored by a family member and they don't necessarily have the funds themselves, but they need to purchase just because the cost of living in Canada is higher if you're renting, and purchasing is definitely a better option. They can now gift the money from a relative, no different than, any of the other borrowers, which is a big win.
Yeah,
So.
absolutely. Yeah, no, it's not as complex as we make it seem. Like, it's pretty standard, just every situation is very unique and every file and client is very different. So it's hard to say that, all the rules apply to every single file. Like, you just have to kind of discuss every client situation and see how we can help them. But yeah,
I
like,
guess
lots of flexibility now opposed to how it used to be back in the day, right? For the
for
newcomers
sure.
to Canada.
One thing I do want to point out is if they don't have credit in Canada, obviously we want to encourage everybody to get credit in Canada. If they don't have credit in Canada and we are using rent, one of the things that I have found is if people are paying their rents on different days, like say they're one day it's the 1st and one day it's the 5th, that actually we can't use it. So if you're thinking of, coming to Canada or you're in Canada and the goal is to purchase a home, make sure that you don't have established credit, make sure your rent payment is being paid, the same day or like the very next business day, because then that helps us with our comments to the underwriter saying that we have consistent payments. If we're showing payments all over the place, it's not going to help the file. So that's
Yeah.
kind of one of the tips that we've run into.
Yeah, absolutely. And just had a thought, but forgot. But yeah, like, very, very important. Another thing I've ran into and is a wife will be added onto the husband's credit card as an authorized user. That does not mean that you have established your own credit. You need to be your own applicant in order for it to show up on your bureau. And
100%.
the banks are very sticky when if there's something that isn't showing up on your bureau, like, we unfortunately cannot present a good case to the underwriter as to how you're going to be making these payments because you don't have a history of credit. So very important for anybody that's, starting their life in Canada is credit. Open up a credit card, whether that's through a bank or through, I don't know, Capital One. Even having a phone bill. A lot of times spouses will take the phone bill all under their name, and it should be individually for a little while before, once you have that house, it's easy. Or sometimes getting a car loan, that also helps too. So just things like that, but very important to have credit, not just as an authorized user, but to start credit right away as soon as you do get into Canada.
For sure. Yeah.
And that's the
Yeah.
advantage.
And I think the insurers are backing us up on that as well. Like, it's not only the banks, the insurers are wanting to see that too. So
Absolutely.
And that's the advantage of having Scotia Bank as one of our in-house partners. Not only can they help you with your mortgage needs, but they for sure have a referral to you at someone at the branch level, which will be able to help you with all of your credit and basic banking needs. This was Linda-May Tomko and Manni Uppal talking to you today about the New to Canada program and how you can use effective tools and tactics to be able to ensure that you can buy your first home when moved to Canada, and make sure you also are allowed to. So talk to your labor lawyer or your lawyer to ensure that you are okay too with the new foreign home buyers ban, but that doesn't affect too many of you. I'm Alex Ward, broker owner of Maxwell Devonshire Realty, and I hope you hit like and subscribe so you can get all of our weekly content. And I can't wait to see you guys next week. See you, everyone.
Thank you. See you. Bye.